Hey guys, in this video we're going to be showing you how to use maybe a beginner's method, we'll call it, to solve the ghost cube. But I'm also going to be using this 3x3 to relate what we're doing on the ghost cube to what you already know. Let's start out by taking a look at what's actually on here. Now, what you need to realize about this ghost cube before you start is there are 3 layers, and I'm going to help you identify the 3 layers by lining up the turning pair. So right here, about the same width as that, and the same width as that. So what I'm going to say first is this right here is going to be like our first layer of a Rubik's Cube. This guy in the middle, right here, it's important to understand that that right there is our second layer. So the first thing we're going to be doing is, more likely than not, solving these 2 layers right here that I'm turning with my left hand, and that's going to essentially be like solving these 2. So we're going to be treating this guy up here as our last layer. But in order to turn this, I think you guys have already seen it, you actually need to line up this. So how can we scramble this up and use it to our advantage just a little bit, just in case you don't want to watch the rest of the video? Well, let's look at the centers. This is a center, this is a center, but notice this center had 3 sides and this center only had 2. This one had 3 sides, and this one also has 2. So if you look at this entire middle layer, notice every single one of those centers only has 2 sides. And if you look at the little tiny piece, if you hold it like this, the tiny piece is on this side of it, then the next tiny piece is also on this side. Then this next tiny piece, it's on the bottom, and this one's also on the bottom. So it looks like it does like a bottom top combination. Some other things you might want to take a look at as you go to solve this ghost cube is these triangles. These triangles are very similar shapes, and there's 4 of them. One right here, one right here, one right here, and the other one right here. So before you get into solving anything on this ghost cube, please take a look at those 4 very, very similar triangles. And you know, I hope it's not too difficult to solve this, but just remember, good look at this one right here, this one layer. Another look at the other layer. And now let's take a look at the center band, just in case you don't want to watch the video and just have an idea. So that one pairs with this, which pairs to this, which pairs to this, which pairs to this, which pairs to this, and all the way back around. Alright, so let's get started with a scramble. So the first thing we're going to be doing is making a cross. I'll make a white cross. Now this does have a white piece on it, but notice on a ghost cube it'll need to be oriented just as this will. So if you think it's in the right spot, just think of it like a 3x3. You can always flip it down, move that piece over, and then flip it up. And then check to see if it fits. If it's like this, well, we can simply just flip it right up. So use those techniques when you do a ghost cube. It's pretty obvious on a 3x3 if something is fitting in there properly or not. But on a ghost cube, you might say, oh, that wasn't the right slot. So you might want to actually say to yourself, okay, this piece is in the right spot, but it needs to get turned. Or I don't know if it's in the right spot, it might need to get turned. If you ever need to do that on the ghost cube and you think it needs to go right here, what you want to do is put it back into the center band, flip that piece over, and connect it back, just to check. Okay, so the first piece on the ghost cube that we're going to try to insert is this long piece right here or here. And if you don't remember which one goes with this fella, well, you can try all the combinations. It's going to fit in right here on those slanted parts of that trapezoid. So let's say you think it's this piece right here. So we can slide that part over and put it up, and that obviously doesn't fit. Or we can put it right to here and slide it up. And we'll also notice that this does not fit. It looks like it almost fits. Put your finger right there. You'll notice it's not flush. So it's probably going to be this guy right here. Let's see if we slide him right up. That's not it. So what we're going to do is slide that over and then slide it up. And notice how flush that is. So we are going to be using this piece right here, not, where did it go? Not this piece. And I think this one is a little smaller. Let's take a look at the next piece we're going to do. All right, the next piece we're going to do is on the opposite side of that long piece that we just placed in. And I like to talk about this one next because it doesn't look like it fits that well. It's actually this piece right here. It kind of looks like a rectangle, but it's definitely a little more trapezoidal than rectangle. You'll notice as we put this piece in, it doesn't look like it's flush at all. Let me try to hold it up there. Looks like there's a little gap, but if you hold your finger there, it is nice and flat. So I do want to talk about this piece a little bit because it is deceiving, and you might not ever think you have it in there the right way, but it is nice, flat, and flush. So let's go on to the next piece. These two edge pieces that go with these trapezoids. The next piece we're going to be inserting onto the ghost cube is to the right side, right here. And it's probably the easiest piece for me because on my sticker it says the word Adam, or name Adam, one of the creators of the ghost cube. And now we're going to be looking for the other piece, which is very similar to this one. It's a trapezoidal piece, and we'll slot that one right in, and that'll be like making our white cross. So let's find that other one and slot it in. So like I said, the next piece we're going to be slotting in is very similar to this one. It is a very isosceles looking trapezoid shape. That goes in right there. Looks like that's flush. I don't think we've made a mistake yet. So the four pieces that we inserted to act as our white cross are as followed. That long piece that's a little shorter, the piece that fits in here but doesn't fit fully flush, the Adam sticker, if you get the Meffert's cube, and this one that is probably the most isosceles trapezoid possible. The next pieces we're going to be slotting in are these four pieces, and they're going to act as our corner pieces. So let's talk about good ways to insert them. So like I said, we're going to be running beginner's method. So let's say we thought this piece needs to go into here. All you have to do is keep running sexy move. Up, over, down, over. Now notice it's not in the right spot, but remember, if you run sexy move 6 times, it'll get back to its normal state. So if we ran it once, it'll be down there. So if we run it 2 more times, or 3 times in total, it'll also be down there, and then we can finally see if it fits. But let's say there's 2 pieces in question. Let's say you thought this piece and this piece fit really well in there. Well, if you run it once, it'll flip them. If you run it again, it'll flip them again. So if you think it's possible that 2 pieces are potentially going to fit into the ghost cube, and you want to eliminate them all at once, put them on top of each other like this. They switched, and we're checking them as we go along. They switch. Then we find the piece. So this is the procedure we're going to be using on the ghost cube. It'll allow us to check 2 pieces at once just by using sexy move. But let's get this cube ready to go. So the first piece I'm going to insert, and I think it's the easiest one, is this one that says Adam. We're going to insert it because this one's also got the sticker on it. If we just run left-handed sexy move on this, it should slot it in eventually. Up, over, down, up, and we got it on our first try. So I think that is the next easiest one to get. That's just my opinion though. The next one we're going to get is the next hardest one, which is this fella over here. So if we want to do this one over here, we need to recognize that this is a triangle over here. And there's 3 triangles left. So we're going to use that method to check which triangle it is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check these 2 triangles just to find out. I'm going to slot this one down here with a left-handed sexy move. Up, over, down, over. Now where is that other triangle? Where is it? A little hard to turn while I'm looking at the camera. Here it is. So notice what I've actually done here is I've put these triangles on top of each other. So if I run sexy move, it'll keep swapping them and changing their orientation. That way I can check 2 things at once. Up, over, down, back over if we want to, just to get it ready. Now, let's check this piece out really quick. Does that look like it's pretty flush? I'm gonna say that's a match. Look at that. Hold it up like that. Hold it up like this on this side. I think that's the winner right there. So this is where we're at so far. We're going to insert these 2 corner pieces next. All right. So the next piece we're going to try to fit in there is the block underneath the word Adam, or name Adam. And I think it's either this one or this one. Remember, it has kind of like a triangle and like maybe like a tip on it. So let's try to get these 2 to flip-flop really quick. Up, over, down, over. Come on, back over. Oh, did I get lucky? Is that flush? Let's see if it's nice and flush. Feels flush here. Flush here. Yeah, I think that's right. So the last piece we're going to try to get down there is this. Now you may try to convince yourself that this is correct, but look. So you can see it. You can tell it's not flush. It's off by the slightest of margins, it feels like. But if you look at it right here, you can see that's not right. So let's find the piece that really goes in there. All right. So we're going to be trying to insert a piece right here, and I think it's that one. What I'm going to at least do is I'm going to at least slot this piece in there, and if it fits, perfect. If it doesn't, we'll find another piece that I think it might be, and we'll keep using the sexy move swap. Up, over. Oh man, it looks like it's good. Down. Now before we go even find a piece, let's see if that looks light. Yeah. So what we've done right now is we've done what we've done on the 3x3. We've completed 1 layer. But what we haven't necessarily done on the 3x3 is reorient the centers. That's what we're going to have to do on this ghost cube over here. We're going to have to reorient these centers. Because even though the centers did not move, these centers can turn. So we're going to have to put these in the right spot. Okay, so the next step on the ghost cube is reorienting these 4 center pieces. Now I already took the step to get the pieces oriented, but this is the part where we want to look closest to that Adam sticker. And we're going to look and find a piece that's like this, that has a little tiny sticker at the top corner and fits in on the side closest to the Adam sticker. And it's this one. And once you get that, you can start to look at the other center pieces and find out what orientation they need to be in there to be flush. And I don't think I've actually done it with this piece right here just yet. So let's take a look and see if we have a piece that's in the right spot, the wrong spot, etc. So this looks like the culprit. It doesn't look like that piece is necessarily lined up when we get this piece in the position. You can clearly see that it's not. So what we're going to do is we're going to line it up for a fix, and we're going to fix this one. Now I think it'll be fixed if that corner is in the bottom part. So what we're going to do is we're going to front face twice. It's going to mess our bottom layer up a little bit. So what we're going to do is, as we go to fix this, we're going to put the bottom layer, which is right here, in the very back. So when we go to fix this, it doesn't really mess it up. Now I think I said we want this and that corner right there. So remember, we're going to be front facing it twice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it here. So when I bring the top layer back into position and front face this twice, it does a nice little mirror reflection down to there. So let's see if this fixed it. Go back to the Adam sticker. Nice point of reference. Thanks, Adam. And it looks to me like that may have done it. Let's see. You know, I'm really not too thrilled about this piece right here. That doesn't look right to me for some reason. Maybe it is. We're going to keep going. If it is not right, we'll fix it later. The next thing we're going to be doing is inserting some edges. So how exactly do edge inserts work on beginner's method? Well, you would line the green up with the green. You say the green orange needs to go right here. So you would say to yourself, okay, I know the algorithm, but on a ghost cube, it's difficult to tell if it's going to go in this way or if it's going to go in this way. So my suggestion is when you're dealing with this on the ghost cube is you line it up with whatever side you think it might be on and do the first turn down into it. If it doesn't pair with the other side, it's not right. So we know that this would be wrong because this should be green. We know this is right because we've made the pair. So this tells me to go ahead and do my insert. I don't really care how you go about inserting it. A nice easy way to do it is to remember to push it away, run sexy move with the hand that you pushed it away, grab the piece, run sexy move with the other hand. I think that's the easiest way to do it. It's not the only way to do it, obviously, but I'm not going to sit here and show you guys how to insert F2L pairs with beginner's method. If you don't know how to do that, you shouldn't be solving the ghost cube. Alright, so back to that Adam sticker right there. Now, sometimes this puzzle is a little daunting, and it kind of reminds me of wanting to jump into a coffin. And that's how I remember this next piece. It's either this one or it's this one. And I'm pretty sure it's this one right here. So the way to check this is we're just going to slot it down just to see if it pairs with the other side. And I think I've gotten very lucky. It did pair over here. So what we are going to do is we're going to say, okay, how did we do it on the 3x3? The way I like doing it, or the way I show people how to do a beginner's method is push it over or push it away. I pushed it away with the left hand, run my sexy move with the left hand. I grab the piece, run sexy move with my right hand. And I think that paired it. Look at that. Now how can we see if it actually paired? We'd actually need to turn the cube and say, is that flush? And it looks pretty good to me. I'm going to keep moving on around the cube and see if we can get some other pieces in there. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to keep circling our way around to the right. And we're going to try to insert a piece right here. Now I remember it needs to have a triangular block on it. So it's either that one, or that one. So let's check this one first on both sides. Let's check it over here first. Now it looks like it fits, but it's not flush. So let's turn it back up. Let's check the other side. And it looks like that's pretty good over here. Even though it's not good over here, it's good here. So that's going to tell us, let's at least attempt to insert it. So it needs to go in right here. We're going to push it away with our right hand. Run sexy move. hand sexy move again with that piece, grab it. And it looks like we got another little piece in there. Look at that. So we're halfway done the second layer. We're moving around to the right to here. Now, the way I remember this piece is, remember how I said there was a coffin piece on this side? On the opposite side, the other coffin piece is going to exist. So let's see if that coffin piece fits in right here. Yep. So we'll insert that coffin piece the same way we've been inserting it before. This time we're going to push it away with the right hand. Sexy move. Up. Over. Down. Over. Grab the new piece that's there. Left hand, sexy. Now we're 3/4 the way done our pairing here. We're just on to that last piece. So remember what was on the other side? Remember how I said it had a little triangle piece? Well, this one's also going to have a little triangle piece. I think this one's going to fit in right here. It looks like that fits in really nice. We're going to slot him in there the same way we've been doing all along. Push it away from the location. We push it away with the left hand, so left hand sexy move. Grab the new piece that's in there with our right hand. Right hand sexy move coming in. And it looks like that finished up that layer. Let's try to align it just to be sure. Here's the atom block right there. Is the second layer complete? Everything's looking pretty flush. So now we're going on to the final layer. And you can do the final layer however you want, but I'm going to use the beginner's method finish to do this. Remember, we've completed what? First 2 layers. So now that we have done the first 2 layers, the next thing on beginner's method is to get a cross on top that is yellow. We're not going to worry about the orientation, but remember, how do we make sure that it's yellow on top? Well, it's pretty obvious when you look at this, but what other context clues do we have? We have a red that lines up. That's good. Here's another one. Green. Does the green line up? So that's 2 of them, right? These 2. Now let's check this one. Does this one line up with any of the other ones? Obviously not, because it's yellow. But we don't see that on the ghost cube. And this one, does that one line up with any of them? No. But we don't see that on the ghost cube, right guys? So at the end of the day, that's how we're going to do it. And we identify this as the L case, and we're going to run the L case just to fix that. We're going to do it on the ghost cube now. So like I was saying before, the next thing we're trying to do is get our yellow cross. Now, one way you can remember how to get your light yellow cross is these two pieces, like this trapezoid piece has a little dot right there, and this one has a little dot right there. Those are supposed to actually touch up here. And I know these pieces, this one is supposed to be matching up kind of with like that Mefrit's atom spot. And this one is supposed to have that piece down there. So I don't even need to check this one. This has to be the dot case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the, how can I say this? We'll run, how about we run sexy move once, see where we're at on it. We'll run sexy move once with it. Turn the front face. Do I have it set up right? Turn the front face. Yep, turn the front face, sexy move. Turn the front back. So, what exactly happened there? Well, let's get a dot case up here. What happens if we run front face with the sexy move? We're left with the L case upside down. So let's take a look at some of those pieces. This one's not touching the way I was saying, and this one's not touching. So we must have the L case with these two. Just to confirm that we have the L case with those two, let's push this one close to that Mefritz piece. Matches up perfect there. What about this one? Looks like it goes right there. So what we have here is we have to switch these ones around with our other combo. We have our L right here. We have our L right there. We're going to run that case. Turn the front face. Front, up, right, up, right, front again. And let's check it. They should all be oriented properly right now. Oh, it's locking up a bit. Let's see. Get this one in the right spot. Yep, there we go. Now, what about these other ones? Now, I don't think any of them are really close to being in the right spot, other than this one right now. Oh no, that one's not even in the right spot. My mistake. I think it's in the right spot now, if we hold it right there. Yeah. I think this one's in the right spot, and we have to switch these two around. So how exactly can we switch these two around? Well, we have a method for that. Let's go back to here. So I actually just pulled up the exact case by mistake. We need to do is we need to switch this one with this one, just like we need to do over there. And we know a combo that will switch these two around. So what happens if I switch these two around right now? You know what, can we rotate the cube a little bit to make it work a little more beneficial to us? We could do it a little easier, but I'm going to do it this way just for the heck of it. What if I flip this one over to here? I could switch these two and switch those two. Up, over, down, over, up, over twice, down, over once. Stays fixed. And over here, up, over, down, over, up, over, down, and fixes it. So that's what we're going to do over here. So remember, the goal here was to switch these two around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run soon with these two, and then run soon with these two. And that should do it. Let's check it out. Up, over, down, over again, up, over two more times, down, over once. So now I'm going to run soon with these two. Up, over. Man, hate turning this. Down, over, up, over two more times, down, over one more time. And that should have lined them up. I could be wrong about that. Let's find out. Yes, that looks legit. It even looks like the top is fixed itself as well. So we're going to move on to the next step and hope that top stays where it is, even though it probably will. So if you're doing beginner's method, the next step would be to make sure that all of these corner pieces are in the right spot, but they don't necessarily have to be yellow up. This one's definitely in the right spot and this one's not, so I'm going to run a combo that cycles 3 of them. Still not good. Now it's good. Now, it might not be yellow up, so they might not be oriented properly, but we can at least get them in the right spot. Now, the way I like to do this is, I know that the triangles go here and here. So what I'm going to start doing is, I'm going to move both of my triangles. You know what? I'm only going to move one of my triangles. Try to get one triangle in the right spot. Now let's move them both. That's what we said we were going to do. We'll move both triangles. Why not? Up. Over. Up. Over. Down. Over. Down. Over. So, what about those triangles? Does it look like these are in the right spot? Is that triangle in the right spot? Let's go check to see if it is. It might be, it might not be. Let's hope it is. Now, there is potential that it is in the right spot. I'm really not sure if it's in the right spot or not. It's interesting though. You know what? I'm 99% sure of this now that I'm looking at it. I think this one's got to go down to here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it like this and run it one more time, and it should bring this guy from here down to there. All right. So I think this one's in the right spot. If this one's in the right spot, does that imply that the other ones are also in the right spot? I think it does, to be honest with you. So what we're going to do is we're going to hope we didn't make any mistakes here. We're going to say, is this one in the right spot? Well, we're going to find out, and we're going to do that with the beginner's method finish. Now, if it isn't in the right spot, it's okay, because we know if we run beginner's method finish 6 times, the cube's going to look just the way it did before. Here's what I mean by that. Let's run beginner's method finish, but let's screw up on purpose. I ran it once, I ran it twice. Now let's pretend I think that's in the right spot. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice the bottom is okay, but the top isn't. And you say, oh man, I thought that's all I needed to do. So then we're going to do this one. 4. Not good. How many times do you think we got to run this? I bet it's twice. Sure enough. Now, I could get the bottom 2 layers fine just by doing any multiple of 4. For example, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Multiple of 12. I'm being dumb. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sorry about that. A little bit of a stupid moment, we'll say. So let's fix this one. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. This is how I used to do it. 1, 2. It's not very move efficient, but it will work. It is kind of funny to do it that way. We're going to do something similar with the ghost cube over here. So it looks like all 4 of these guys are messed up. What we're going to do is we're going to run it until it's fixed. And if we notice we run it 4 times and it's not fixed, we're going to not go bananas. We're not going to lose our minds or anything. We're just going to have to say to ourselves, okay, we just need to run it till it's fixed. Or the bottom 2 layers are fixed. So let's try it. Down, over, up, over. Down, over, up, over. Now, is that fixed? I'm going to say yes. Go to the next one. Down, over, up, over, down, over, up, over, nope, down, over, up, over, down, over, up, over. Now, I understand that that's in the right position, but how many times have we ran the damn thing? We've run it 6 times, and notice the bottom is still okay when we realign it. So I think we're looking good so far. We're going to flip this guy into position. Let's see how many times we got to run this. Down, over, up, over, down, over, up, over. Now that looks good. So that means we have to probably run this 4 times. Down, over, up, over, down, over, up, over, down, over, up, over. One more time. Down, over, up, over. And what we have is we have a completed ghost cube here. At least I think we do. But we didn't show you one case on the ghost cube. Last case. What if this top was not okay? I'm going to show you how to fix that. So what exactly do you do with the ghost cube if everything is solved except for this little top? Well, if you've been following along with a lot of the videos, what about the pyramids? You'll remember there was a move where we go down, over, up, over, down, over, up. And we ran that combo and it swapped those pieces. And if we keep running it down, over, up, over, down, over, up, over, down, over, up, over. We just keep running it. And we know that combos are very similar on other cubes. For example, so we can probably run the same move over here, but I didn't really put a sticker on anything here, did I? No. I didn't have any up arrows, down arrows, etc. on these cubes, but since this is a super cube, what that actually does is it's going to rotate this a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to run it 5 times, I think. It was 3 on this. I think it's 5 on this. Could be wrong. I think it's 5. Let's check it out. Up, over. Oh boy. Please don't lock up on me now. Over, down, over, up, over, down, over, up, over, down, over, up, over, down, over, up, 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 over, down, and there we have it. Now think about what that did. We went up, over, down, over. The down, up and down moves here with the right hand did not affect the top at all. But think about what we had to do. We went over with it twice. So if you have to go up, over, down, over, when we move the top twice, it does a 180 with it. So I think we had to run it 5 times. So if you do a 180 with this 5 times, let's think about what that does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will turn the top 180 degrees. That is why that move works on this one. That's why it will also work on this one, and that is why it will also work on this one. Because all you're really doing is turning something 180 degrees. And if it has no picture on it, it does not matter if it turns 180 degrees. It doesn't matter if it turns 90 for that matter. But on this one, it had to turn 180 degrees to solve. Guys, I really hope you like this Ghost Cube tutorial. It's very long, but I wanted to try to show you how to insert every single piece on this in an appropriate way. And hopefully you can follow it to get your own Ghost Cube solved. Have a great night.